Hello, my name is Maya El Khalil. I'm co-curating this exhibition, Layered Medium. We are in open circuits with my colleague, Terry.
Hello, my name is Kyunghan Yeo, curator from Seoul Museum of Art, to working with Maya for this exhibition.
So it's an exhibition that actually started from a long conversation now and a long research phase that started over a year and a half ago. Following that, it was very much the decision of Kay and myself to develop this exhibition, to think of from the collection of SeMA.
Last year.
How we want to approach it, what are the thematics, and the artist and the selection of artists and works for this exhibition. Opening circuits is because it's an attempt to contextualize and to present a short history of the development of the experimental scene in Korea, spanning from the 1960s up until 80s and 90s.
We keep discussing about why this age from 1960s and 70s in Korea. This is why important for this exhibition and for the media, the concept of the medium among Korean art scene. So this age, the opening age, we thought that the 90s and 70s, it is a period of profound transition in Korea. These artists navigated tradition and emerging forms, subtling between local and international context to break often new technology, philosophical and social territories.
In addition to an attempt to present a timeline and some archival material, we start with the work of Nam June Paik. It felt very natural to start with Nam June Paik, being widely recognized as the father of video art. He was definitely an inspiring figure for a number of artists in Korea in the late 60s and 70s, the like of Park Hyun-ki, Lee Kang-soo, Lee Kun-young.
Nowadays, we think the video art or performance art is a very universal language for the arts. But at that time, can you think, it is really new and novelty of the new media for the artist, and there were several questions why these artists keep researching, wanted to access this kind of a new media at that time, from that time to the present. That's you can see this kind of context and reasons and purposes of artists in this exhibition.
And finally, we move to the other sections. Throughout this exhibition, the history and the political situation in Korea has always heavily influenced the expressions of these artists. Moving from years of colonial rule and the impact of this until 1945 by Japanese colonization, followed by years of military regime, repression, several instances of things like the 1980, for instance, Gwangju uprising, and before that, the 1960 also. So all of these were turning points in the history of Korea that heavily influenced also the expressions and the coming together of groups of artists and their expressions
and practices.
The other element for us was really important was the use of color. There is generally I would say almost a code in the way contemporary art is presented, and it's in the white cube. Here, instead, we used a restrained palette of colors, but with very specific tones that ranges from light green to blue to brown, as a way of characterizing the space in a specific atmosphere that we think also works extremely well with digital media. We wanted the exhibition to feel intimate, so not too lit, since we have plenty of videos, but at the same time, with the use of color, emphasize a more intimate atmosphere and a variety of color that shifts throughout the space without never becoming too overpowering with the artworks. That for us was important is to present works that traditionally are presented on a full wall, but in a lighter partitions or even suspended in space. So two-dimensional works such as tapestries or even paintings, they are not necessarily presented hanging on a wall, but actually in lighter partitions that allow you to see other works behind it. Of course, we had to be careful to do not make this into a cacophony, but rather to allow also two-dimensional works that almost become more sculptural in space. So that also the hierarchy between the paintings, the installations, and the films, it's much more equal. When we started working on the exhibition design, we had one intention. First of all, to use all the space available and to create partitions that would allow the works to enter in conversation with one another. We did not want to create separate rooms, but rather to see the works in relation to one another.
And one important aspect that we wanted to, of course, deal within the exhibition design was the idea of porosity. So as you can probably also hear on the back, you can listen to some of the artwork audio. For us, this spillover was something very important to enhance even more this idea of collectivity.
그리고 이 글로리아라는 작업은 특히 이제 그 그러니까 그 구리 종파이프, 수도 배관 파이프를 사용했는데요. 그 배관 파이프라는 것이 아까 말씀드렸듯이 도시 시스템을 가능케 하는 되게 주요한 인프라스트럭처의 소재가 되고 그런 점에서 이 재료를 사용하게 됐습니다. 그래서 글로리아 같은 경우는 보통은 보이지 않는 이면에 숨겨지는 어떤 그런 인프라스트럭처를 우리가 볼 수 있는 정면으로 쏟아내듯이 그런 상상으로부터 출발된 작업입니다. 저도 사실은 관객의 한 사람으로서 이 전체 전시를 보면서 느낀 점을 이야기할 수 있는데요. 이 전시 자체가 어떻게 보면 테크놀로지를 다루고 있는 작업이기도 하고 그 키워드와 관련해서 그 한국의 근현대 작품들을 다 이렇게 엮어놓은 그 전시라고 생각하는데요. 이 작업을 제가 여기서 직접 소재를 찾고 또 여러 가지 공정을 거쳐서 제작을 하면서 제가 느낀 것은 어떻게 보면 제가 서울에서 작업하면서 느꼈던 것과 관계에 생각해보면 그 아부다비와 서울이 굉장히 어떤 점에서 링크를 가지고 있다고 생각해요. 그러니까 굉장히 짧은 기간 안에 되게 급속한 성장을 이루고 있는 그런 도시라는 점에서 공통성을 가지고 있다고 보고 그 과정과 그 과정에서 제가 사용하는 이런 파이프라는 소재 그런 것들이 되게 긴밀한 소재라는 생각이 들었습니다. 네.
Actually, it started like when I thought about the characteristic of like leather, that like it basically is the tool and it lifts you like up. And I thought that like many people are living like leather. They step on them and they are being used to lift someone else's position, and so I wanted like make them free and freely move around in the space and enjoy together. I thought about this like leathers are kind of like representing the life of the young people in Korea, and we actually are suffering from low birth rate. And actually that's lowest in the world. So it's a very, very like a problematic like society, but the people don't know about it. I mean, like they always talk about the K-pop or very fancy things, what is happening there, like dramas and movies. But actually we have so many problems. It was really controversial in Korea. And somehow I wanted to like show them and show their voices. And I went over to Jeju Island. I recorded their singing. I'm showing their voices in another room over there. It's first time that I show this piece. They are singing in Arabic language. And these people here, they understand this language. And it's so meaningful for me to show this work in Arabic countries. And also this collaboration between SeMA and ADMAF. I think like the process, I was together and I saw them like how to build this exhibition from the beginning. And I think it was so meaningful and they've been working so hard to realize this exhibition. I'm so much thankful for everyone who are involved in this exhibition.